Hi, man.
Hello, sir.
good?
How are you?
Very well, buddy. Very well.
That is fantastic.
Welcome back, everyone. Good to see
Welcome back. Hello.
the camera, I guess.
It's nice,
to see
it's
you
nice
guys.
to see you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You know
we do.
who you are.
You know who you are. Man, we were strength.
Strength.
Strength is kind of the
Today we are talking all things strength.
yeah.
Big part of my life. It's something I want.
Yeah.
I sometimes have, but I don't always keep.
Totally. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's like my whole life, everyone's always like, man, you're so strong.
And you are. You're like kind of farm boy strong. And I say that in the best possible
That farm boy autism strength. The autism strength. Yeah. But then, like, my whole life, yeah, like martial arts wise, everyone's like training and grabbing, throwing, whatever. Oh, you're so strong, you're so strong. And then I'm like, so for me, there's always been this like, why do I need to do weights? I'm already strong because people tell me that I'm strong. Then I've gone, like, as I've gotten older and then started doing weights, I meet people and see what actual strength is. And I go, I'm martial arts strong. I'm not strong.
You are. So you are. If you put you throw a rock out the window, 100 people, you're stronger than 80% of them. Easily.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Easily. Or maybe 90% of your average people.
Yeah, totally. And then you get then there's levels.
Levels.
There's levels. There's so many levels. Like I've got like decent grip strength because of grappling and holding onto things.
Yeah.
But it's not practice grip strength. And then you get to people like, so we've got a friend of ours that trains here, Art, who's like, we know he's just the man mountain. And
One Punch Man.
He's basically One Punch Man. If you don't know who One Punch Man is, have a look him up. We'll actually chuck a link in for One Punch Man so you can see what that is.
Yes.
But because it's a great anime. But yeah, he's basically Art. And I was like, but the thing is, like, then when Art, because he's a personal trainer and he lifts and he's really strong. He's big.
Jacked.
He's jacked
He's strong as fuck. Yeah.
And so when he grabs, so obviously he does doing a lot of bar work and all those things. And when you shake his hands, you can feel the calluses on his hands and that sort of stuff. And then when he grapples, that strength of grip and just the denseness of his bones and the fibers of the muscles he's built over 20 years of being a personal trainer and someone that, not just a personal trainer, but someone that actually lifts,
And
is a different level of strength. And then when and then because I've gone down a recent 12-ish, 18 months of lifting and stuff. And then I'm like, I'm constantly sending you reels now of all the stuff of like, what the fuck? Like, who's that Australian dude? Rich
Tom Haviland.
Tom Haviland, this Aussie guy's like 50 something. He's like 6'8".
No, is he that? No, I don't think he's that old. I think he's like 30.
No, there's no way he's in his 30s.
Have you seen his face?
No, I've only seen the back of it.
He's got like a baby face.
Okay, there you go. Look, I might be wrong.
Yeah,
but
having said that, he's 6'8".
He's 6'8". He's 120, 130 kilos of just muscle.
But he does all those like weird lifts and yoke carries and bench presses 300 kilos.
Yeah, when you watch this guy lift, you're like, he's doing weight and doing lifts that are rivaling. He should be in strongman comps, but he doesn't. He just does them and he's gymming at home and he likes doing it.
But he's almost like the anti-influencer.
Correct.
Where he's like the hey, I'm a dentist, so you can't see my face.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he just everything's filmed from the back. Yeah. He doesn't, but
he's as wide as a fridge.
Yeah, just wide and enormous but strong, explosive, massive jumps.
You watch him do, and this is the thing too, is unless you have lifted or you've just started or you've done any kind of lifting, you watch him do it and it looks like effort. It looks like effort, but you're kind of like, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look hard.
Pop an eyeball.
That's what I mean. So
I've seen. I went to a.
Even though he's lifting benching like 300 kilos, just try. The average person can't do 100, let alone 300. So
so even it's like, what is it? If you call it 2.5 times his body weight.
Yeah.
In round terms. And he squats over that, deadlifts well over.
He did a farmer's carry. He was doing a farmer's carry and he had 220 kilos in each hand. What do you mean? Like, what?
Yeah, so and can I I'm gonna come back to one of my earlier exposures to high level strength in a minute. But we're not gonna buy into the argument of we're just gonna put it to bed. Lifting or technique versus strength. Like, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be going, I can only do technique or I can only do strength.
No, not at all.
Because two things can be true at the same time,
Sure.
right? You want to be the best technician you can possibly be in martial arts.
Yep.
You to be as strong as you can possibly be
Yeah.
to support that technique.
All the technique, yeah.
So we're not gonna get into that because if you don't believe in lifting, lifting makes you slow, no, get fucked.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Lifting doesn't.
Live for 1 month and tell me how you feel about it after.
Being fat and weak makes you slow.
Correct.
Lifting will never. And look, yeah, there's going to be minor things. Also, if you lift and you're worried about getting too big, it's not going to happen.
You have to
Do you
train like a
understand-
bodybuilder to
Do you
get
understand
big,
how hard it is
to
to
get
get
yoked.
too big?
Yeah.
Like most people will never.
It's a
ever,
full-time job.
Ever.
It's a full-time job
it's a
to get
full-time job.
big, like big.
Like proper big.
Yeah.
And if you're doing lots of martial arts, especially something like jiu-jitsu, which is fairly like intense, you're not going to get too big. You're not Gordon Ryan.
No, it takes time.
Or if you are, come join us on the podcast.
Sure.
We'd be happy to have you.
Let's have a chat, Gord. Love
But
to.
just putting that to bed. But one of my earliest experiences, I've been strength training for a long time, and I've always understood the value of it. Mainly because I had horrible back pain and ankles. I have. If you look away, if you're squeamish, because this is my ankle straight. This is this is zero. I don't have ligaments in my ankles, and that's from playing basketball since I was 5 and repeatedly spraining my ankles and being
Rolling your ankles.
a bit hypermobile.
Yeah.
And so horrible back pain, horrible.
I'm gonna start demonstrating toe holds on you in class now.
Either me or Tina.
Want to see what it looks like when it goes too far? This is what it looks like.
But the one thing that is, I went to physios, chiropractors, osteopath, remedial massage, you name it. I looked for a solution, and they would give me all the exercises to do. I started deadlifting, and I started back squatting, and guess what? My back pain went away.
Surprise, surprise.
And my ankles, I went from wearing ankle braces for everything to no ankle braces, still playing high-level basketball, doing martial arts, you name it.
By high level, he just means tall. Anyway.
High level, I'm closer to the rim. That's high level.
Sorry. But look, also, disclaimer. Neither one of us are doctors, physicians,
We're not
professional personal trainers or any that sort of stuff. We're only going off our own experiences and the things that have helped us both improve in our physical goals, right?
Yep.
So take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. And when we talk about lifting, what we mean is in general, like whatever kind of lifting and whatever kind of strength-based training you're gonna do, if you're improving your strength as a whole, that's a good thing. What we're saying is like, so if you are going down that path of like trying to lift heavy and trying to hit the 1,000 pound club?
1,000 pound club.
Which is, what's that? It's 220.
It's whatever combination.
Yeah, whatever
squat,
combination.
bench and deadlift.
To build up to 1,000 pounds. Like that's an American thing. Like if that's your goal, great, go for it. Like you're all good. But if, for example, like my partner can't lift heavy, got injuries she's got to deal with, so she's going for volume. So lower weight and volume. That's awesome. Like, and that's helped her astronomically. It's helping heaps with the stuff that she's doing. Like, so this is what we're saying is this. Like, don't get confused between you've got to get jacked, you've got to get, just astronomically massive to be strong. That is not what we're saying. You don't have to be big to be strong. No. And that isn't the goal. If you can add strength to your attributes, the things you're doing, tennis, let's just use tennis as an example. You've got to have good, strong knees to play tennis because you're a lot of agile movement.
Yep.
So you've got to work on ankles, knees, hips. All of those things need to be strong so that you can be the best tennis player you can be. If you're going to be a fucking high jumper, your calves need to be strong. You need to have all those tendon muscles, all those things. So specific to your sport, the thing you're trying to do, if you are trying to improve in any of those areas, being strong and having strength in the joints, tendons, muscles that are going to support the areas of your profession or the thing you're trying to do are going to make you better. That's that is the baseline of what we're saying.
And I think there's generalization, but social media and YouTube have fucked up fitness for everyone.
100%.
There's way too much information, and the inclination for whether it's rage bait or clickbait or just getting views of people saying and doing dumb shit, or creating problems that don't exist.
Yeah.
Oh, so your feet turn out 4 degrees when you do this movement. You should do this and these exercises to fix that.
You know what the thing that I've noticed the most? So I've got bad knees, and I've been coming out of knee surgery with stuff, and all the rest of it. So I'm in a phase right now where I'm really having to rebuild the building blocks of stuff with my legs, and so I'm very much on the rehab path and building the strength back up to where I want to get to support my activities. So the thing that's popping up on all my algorithms, and the thing that's the most popular thing that I've seen on socials with all the strengthy stuff or the helping stuff, is the script of, if you do 50 of these and you do 10 of these, you will build the hip things. Then if you do 10 of these and do 20 of these and do 800 of these, you're going to be here. While all those things are true in their own...
No, they're not. Let's just call it for what it is. It's fucking bullshit.
Well, what my point is like, they might be good exercises. Like, so, and this is a really good example, right? So this is quite literally this morning I saw this band clip around knee strength and exercise. And this guy's doing some ridiculously impressive, like he does just a full vertical jump, lands on one foot and into like a pistol squat.
Not
right?
RAF, PHG, whatever it is.
I can't remember.
Okay,
I'll show you. But really impressive. And I'm not saying he's not knowledgeable about anything, right? Like, but that's just basic. If you want the knee strength to help with this, do this band stuff and do this and do this. And I've been doing some of that band work already. Then I went and spoke to I was at my exercise physiologist this morning. So shout out to Anthony.
Qualified exercise scientist.
Exercise scientist, not just a physio. No offense to physios. And I was just discussing about, will these band things help me assist the things that I need to do right now? And he went, no. He was like, no, we're not there yet. You need to come. We need to rebuild a whole bunch of other things that are just not working for me. So I've got to go. I'm just peeling it all back.
Yes.
And I was like, and I've had that but I was like putting them together because my mind was like, I know that exercise that this guy's doing. And he showed like 5 or 6 exercises, which are, yes, very helpful when I've seen done and I have done in the past. And I was like, they are good exercises, but like everyone's at different stages of whatever the fuck you're doing. And I'm like, right now I've got weak hips and I've got stuff and I've got to peel right back to just holds of basics and be able to do 10 or like sets of what I'm doing before I get to the next level, which is that stuff.
Yes.
And so if I start there, none of it's going to support any of the other things because I haven't yet built the building blocks to support those exercises. So that's the thing. I think socials are can be very misleading to the uneducated because you get out there and you look at it and going, oh, but that guy's doing great stuff. Look at that. Yeah, but they're this far in front of you.
Oh, absolutely.
So if that's the thing that gets you excited about educating yourself to get you on the path to recoveries or to get stronger, great. But take everything with a grain of salt.
I think take everything with a grain of salt.
Even what we're saying, do your own fucking research. Like,
100%.
Look at your own things.
Look, we've got our own biases as well. Yeah. But I love social media for fitness content because I can pass the info. I've seen enough and I know enough that I can go, oh, that's awesome, but also that's clickbait or whatever.
Totally.
Same thing. There's a guy who does. He's a jiu-jitsu brown or purple or brown belt. Ridiculous athlete. Does the backflip into a pistol squat and into a dragon squat. Yeah. And then he has programs that he sells and he does. And I'm like, when you look at the program, it doesn't line like because people go, oh, I want to look like him and do what he does. The program doesn't line up with that. So you just got to be really careful that if you look at someone what they're doing. 1 + 1 doesn't always equal what they've got.
Correct.
And it can often be, well, if you can do 10 bodyweight squats, you can do 5 of these. And if you can do 5 of these, you can do 1 of these. And if you can do 1 of these, magic, you look like me. And like, no, it doesn't work. Yeah. And there's so many
steps. There's so many things.
The misinformation is criminal, but even people who have really good qualifications and have a lot of history, there's fear mongering and there's.
I wonder if anyone's been sued as a content creator for like bad advice or anything yet, because that's coming like a freight train.
I think in America anyway. Content creation is, and we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. I think it's kind of like a separate. It's more entertainment. There's literally no responsibility.
I totally understand and I totally agree. I'm just saying that like. America's system is so geared towards...
But unless you're saying, guarantee this will get you results. Yeah. Now, having said that, there is one thing... Now, I have a lot... when we talk about injuries, so back 2019, I had horrible... Like, just knee tendinopathy, call it. Like, couldn't walk up... Would play sport or do martial arts. Couldn't walk up a flight of stairs afterwards. And Ben Patrick, who is now knees over toes guy.
Very awesome.
love his content and what he stands for, but he also had this tagline of bulletproof. Bulletproof, you know, bulletproof your knees, bulletproof your lower back, bulletproof your, and that denotes that if they're bulletproof, they're not going to get injured. You can't injury-proof yourself. No matter how strong or fit you are, look at any professional sport.
Time gets us all.
But even just you have athletes who are at the elite level, the strongest of the strong, fittest of the fit, they zig when they should have zagged, and they do a knee. Or they do an Achilles.
Totally.
And you think, okay, if they can't be bulletproofed, you can't be bulletproofed.
Yeah.
And you can't wrap yourself in cotton wool either. So you've got to understand that you can
get on everything.
You can get as strong as you possibly can and you can do as much to reduce your injury risk, but you can't bulletproof. There's no manner.
You can make them best they can be and strengthen them and make them healthy and try and just give yourself as much assistance as possible.
Yeah, and someone still might jump guard on your leg.
Exactly right.
And
just sit down and there's
straight
nothing
down
you
on
can
your
do
knee.
about that.
There's nothing you can do, or you turn the wrong way
correct.
and you've been loading your body in such a way that you might not even realize.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden shit goes wrong and you go, but I've been doing all this stuff. There's no guarantees with any of it. But I was going to say before, one of my earliest exposures to, because it's when we talk about there's levels to this shit. Yeah. I'm relatively strong for a normal person.
Yeah.
So I'm...
No, Cameron's crazy strong if you haven't...
No, crazy strong's not... No, so this is... When you know, you know. And it's like walking into a brand new martial arts school and you go, there's white belts and then there's black belts. And even amongst each of those belts, there's different levels depending upon the person and whatever else. Yep. I'm probably on a strength curve. I'm probably somewhere around the lower middle area. In real terms.
Middle high, I'd say. Middle high.
But we're talking...
You're in the middle somewhere.
We're in the middle somewhere. I went to a powerlifting meet with just to watch with a good mate of mine many years ago. And that was the first eye-opener to... This was kind of early days of fitness influencers on Instagram and whatever else. And I remember I watched a guy deadlift over 300 kilos, weighing 81 kilos at the time.
Wow.
Kevin Bowie, who's an Australian powerlifter, and just unbelievable. But again, watch people squat over 200 kilos, weighing similar body weights, bench 200 kilos, and we were just sitting there blown away because you don't witness that strength.
No, not often. No.
Often, and you kind of go, oh, okay.
It's one thing to watch it online too, and it's another thing to watch it in person.
Oh, it's different. It's the same with any, like you go and watch professional sport in person, you hear the hits and you see the people, you're like, it's different to just watching it on
I'm
TV.
not an AFL fan in the sense that it's just not a sport I follow. I get it. I understand it's not, it's a great sport and everything. And so like you couldn't invite me over to watch the footy at the house. I'd just be like, man, I've got better things to do.
Yeah.
If you invited me to a game at the MCG, I'd go. Yeah. Because I've been to a few of those and they're great fun.
Yes.
Because being
different
there
experience.
And experience is very different,
Yeah. But seeing the strength up close and personal and getting an appreciation for just how strong people are is different.
Totally.
But also, that was just a good eye-opener for me to understand that strength is it's almost never ending. We talk about guys like Tom Haviland or Brian Shaw or these freaks.
Hathor,
Hathor, the mountain from Game of Thrones. Yeah. These absolute freaks. But we say all of that.
Paddy O'Dwyer, rest in peace.
You don't have to. You never. If you're watching us talk about this, you're probably not Brian Shaw.
No.
Or Tom Haviland. If you are, awesome.
Hey.
But
jump on podcast.
You don't have to be. It's not about getting to be a world record power lifter. Like I said before, you don't have to squat, bench, and dead and aim for the 1,000-pound club. Yeah. Unless you want to.
Unless you want to, yeah, sure.
But it's about being stronger than you were last time.
Yeah.
And strength is never a weakness. Like the stronger you are, you're not going to look at it and go, geez, I wish I hadn't done that. Yeah. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish my hips and my lower back weren't this strong.
And it's a thing too, like, and it's funny. And this is not a slight at you. This is just in that space of where we were talking about. You're in as far as your jiu-jitsu goes, you're still in the beginning stages of your technical abilities, and that you're at a white belt level, and that's where you're at. And it is interesting because your strength helps you heaps in your roles to a point, and you're now at a point where you're like, it is helping you with this stuff, and now your technical ability needs to raise
to match.
To help to then make it better again, and then the strength's only going to help those things.
100%.
And then I think this is the thing between when you're a beginner, especially, and this is any martial art, period, any martial art. Well, it doesn't matter whether you're doing karate or Muay Thai or whatever. If you're really, really strong at the start, that's great. Your technical ability you then need to work on your technical ability to help yourself improve. And art's a good example of this too. Is like when he started jiu-jitsu, same uber strong and just uber like I'm going to power everything through.
Yep.
And with some people, other beginners, it's fine. But then as he learned quickly, was like, I need to educate these areas because the power's not helping me here.
Yes.
Because then that's the thing with jiu-jitsu in particular, finding the path of least resistance, be like water. You're trying to, the power's there, so there's the resistance, so then you go around it.
Yep.
And that's the thing, right? And so you finding those things is like the strength will absolutely, and specifically with jiu-jitsu in particular, is the strength will absolutely help you, and then you need the technique to then balance those things out so that you can use strength with your technical abilities to make things better.
Isn't that where, so strength is it's just a force multiplier.
Yeah.
And that's where, so a lot of people will be like, oh, don't use your strength, just use technique. And like doesn't work. Well, it might.
You're right. I know what you're saying. This is the thing. I've always been as a coach, and when you like, there's so many times you'll hear on the mats if you're training. You'll especially like just speaking from a jiu-jitsu point of view here. There's so many times you'll hear be like, oh yeah, use technique, don't use strength. No, like strength is an attribute.
Yep.
Just like flexibility is an attribute.
Yeah.
Or mobility.
Or size.
Or size or whatever, right? So use the attributes you have. But all I say as a coach is understand the difference between, okay, did I win then because I was trying to squeeze someone's eyeballs out of their face with the strength of a headlock?
Yep.
Or did I do a choke which was technical and then I used the strength to complement not just to finish, but like I'm using the strength with the technique and they tapped really well because all the technical parts were correct.
Yes.
That is the only difference you need to understand. It's like, did they tap because I was just squeezing the crap out of them with my strength on whatever that is?
Yep.
Or was I being as technical as possible? I blocked everything as technically well as I could to defend my position, and then I improved my position. I controlled the position by utilizing good shoulder strength and the strength that you have. And then I set my position up, I set my submission technically, and then I got to it, and then I used the strength that I have to apply good technique. Yep. That's the only difference you got to understand is like, did I just cross-face someone and drive my elbow into the side of their cheekbone and they tapped because I'm being strong?
And also I would say, and again, nothing happens in a vacuum. So it's not it's never one or the other.
Correct, yeah.
But it also depends on kind of what your end goals are. Like you want to be as technical as possible.
Sure, yeah.
And as physically capable as possible.
100%.
At the same time. And I'd say that physical capability piece just includes your strength, your conditioning, your flexibility, all that other piece. And the more of everything you have, the better you're going to be.
100%. And it's like when we're doing like wrestling takedowns in particular, you want to have explosive power with wrestling takedowns. Now, doesn't mean you don't that won't help you if you don't have decent wrestling technique. You need the technique. Your footwork needs to be in the right place. Your balance needs to be there. You need to understand where to look and how to point your hips and with whatever throw you're doing, right? But it's like, oh, I'll just be really technical when I do my takedown. Yeah, that's great, but you still then need to add the explosive strength to get the takedown to work.
You don't have that.
Especially if you're competing against someone of equal skill.
Yeah.
It's now it's going to come down to those things. Like this is why, and we've talked about this on many times before. This is why weight categories exist in combat sports.
Yep.
Is because the technical side of things, when all things are equal, it's going to come down to weight, size, and strength.
That's it.
When the technical stuff is equal. Now, when someone's far technically better,
well, there's a video.
It is, but the person's not as technical.
Yep.
if that person's not as technical but super strong and super explosive, it's going to equalize the technical game.
Absolutely.
And so it's like that stage. You can be less technical and get away with stuff if you're explosive and got strength and flexible and all those things. But if you are super technical and you're explosive and strong, it's only going to make you better.
100%.
Look at Andre Galvao, super technical,
Yeah.
built like an ox.
But even you look at good examples in not so much jiu-jitsu, but in other, look at Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So elite,
Physical freak.
elite wrestler from college wrestling.
Yep.
But then
NCAA champion.
NCAA champion,
Div
but
1.
then obviously spent many years in the WWE.
Yeah.
Came to the UFC, athletic freak,
100%.
and dominated.
Lit everyone up. Yeah.
Bob Sapp.
Yeah.
Like,
Not technical.
freak
but,
of nature. Almost zero technique. You watch him when he punches, and he doesn't actually punch.
It just swings.
It's a club.
It's a club.
It's like a swinging, like, club hand.
Yep.
But if you're on the receiving end of that, you're into next week. But yeah, so
You think you could beat Bob Sapp in a fight?
no fucking way.
Not even now?
Not even. Oh, is he crippled now? I'll give myself a chance. But no fucking way.
Yeah.
Is Bob Sapp what is he, 140, 150 kilos?
Something like that. Something crazy.
Like, I don't think, so I was going to say, there's a video of Gordon Ryan and Hafthor Bjornsson doing jiu-jitsu, and they're kind of...
And it's just straight jiu-jitsu. There's no striker.
Straight jiu-jitsu, they're kind of mucking around, and Gordon Ryan can obviously maneuver him and reposition.
Yeah.
And this is Gordon Ryan at his
Elite level.
elite physical peak. It's when he's on cycle and he's at his biggest and strongest. He doesn't, whatever the gut issues aren't happening at that point in time, and he can position. Maybe if you added any striking to that, the rules change, because Thor is just an enormous person.
Totally.
Or we've spoken before about Eddie Hall when he fought the two dudes in the ring. And they're hammer and tongs punching him, and he's kind of like...
Swats them like
And
flies.
as soon as he punched one of them, the guy just disappeared into the nether.
And the other guy goes, ruh-roh.
They called the fight. They're like, all right, time.
We're
We're done here.
We'll definitely link that one. We'll definitely link that one in.
We will, because that's a good example of why weight classes exist. Yeah. But this is, so if we come back to strength, and I'll talk about my experience a bit more soon, but we got you onto the real strength train, in the last 12 months, 18 months.
18 months, yeah.
Can you you might have spoken about this a little bit before, but can you just give me kind of a brief snapshot of the difference you felt with the way your body moved and
Honestly,
and also, so just to position this, you've been training martial arts for ever, the 90% of your life,
36 years,
and you've only really done strength training for 1 year.
Yeah.
So just to say, like, it's not like you've gone,
But you lifted for 10 years,
I lifted, back in college or high school, whatever else. It's never been a thing.
Weight training and strength training for me.
Well, I should say, when we say strength, you've done plenty of push-ups and all that kind of shit throughout the years as part of training.
Of course. Like think martial arts training, push-ups on knuckles and normal push-ups and squats and jumping and frog leaps and whatever. So like mobility and whatever strength comes with learning to kick and gripping and pulling and all this.
So it's not. So it's not like it's.
This is what I say. Martial arts strong is like.
Yes.
You get there and you go. If I grab hold of you, I'm going to grab, and if you're not a training person who doesn't train, you're going to go, oh wow, that person's strong. Yeah. But then like in a jiu-jitsu contest, I'll grab hold of you, and that's like, and the other guys that grapple go, yeah, that's about right. Which is to be expected. To be expected because you understand the feeling. Right? So I guess for me, and let me just like preface this is what I'm saying is like, for me, weights and strength training over the years of my martial arts training has always been, I'm not even going to say secondary. It's just been not even a thought. And my mindset with that was all just about, I'm easily distracted. It's difficult to focus on stuff. I probably have some kind of ADHD, which is just undiagnosed, and that's fine. And so for me, it was all about, if I have an hour or 2 hours to do weights, I would rather go and train martial arts. Yeah. Which we've had this conversation before. Yeah. I'll choose martial arts every day of the week. You're going to choose the gym. Yep. And that's okay. For me, it was always a chore. It was always it was a massive amount of mental load. committing to doing this thing. I've always traditionally been a very time poor person because I've worked multiple jobs and do things like a lot of people do. And so for me, if I had an hour or I had 2 hours to like, oh, I'm going to dedicate to weights, I would tell myself that, go, I'm going to go do some weights. And then I would end up at the gym doing martial arts because that's what's fun.
Yes.
For me.
Yep.
And so it was always very, very difficult. We basically, Cameron has been busting my balls for many, many years about getting stronger and do the things that'll make you feel better and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I knew he was right. I knew he was right. But I just, same again, I would just always get to that like, but I'd rather just go and do jiu-jitsu and get better at jiu-jitsu.
But sometimes it's just you need the right cognitive load management to be able to go and dedicate the time to do it.
You need your why.
Yeah.
Everyone needs your why for anything.
Yep.
Like you want to get good at the thing. What is your why?
Why? Yeah.
And like we've talked about, whoever's helping you, your coaches, your physios, your friends, whoever's helping you, they can't want it more than you want it.
No.
Like you have to want it the most.
Yep.
Of whatever.
Otherwise, it doesn't get done.
Yeah. Whatever that want is.
Yep.
Right. If it's food and dieting and losing weight, you've got to want that more than the people helping you because they're gonna they want it for you, but they can't do the work. You just got to do the work, right? And so, anyway, we got to a point where I went to Worlds in 2024. Sorry, I went in 2024. I went over to Worlds for jiu-jitsu because it was just go. It's a bucket list item thing. It was never about. I was never had a shot at winning because I didn't train properly for it. I just went. Because I wanted to bucket item list, and I had the best fucking time. We went with a few students from the club. And it was an amazing experience. Competed, lost in my first round, which was what I was kind of expecting. But I came out of that experience and went. I'm sorry. Also, just to say, I hadn't competed in jiu-jitsu for more than 10 years at that point.
Yes.
So 2013, 2014 was like my last competition. So 2024 would be like 10 years. And it was like my first at black belt as well. Like it was like ridiculous.
It was a high bar.
It was a high bar to set, which it was the same. The point was just go and have fun. And I did. And for me, it was about realizing, do I want to do this? Do I want to compete? Is it something I do want to do properly? And I came out of that experience going, I actually had a great time because I didn't put pressure on myself to win or anything. I just had a great time. So then coming back to that, we enter early 2025. You had lost a bunch of weight, like 10, 12 kilos, or give or take. And we were talking about that experience at Worlds and all those things. And you were like, look, fucking go and do 4 weeks of a routine. I'll give you the routine. Do this. Keep it simple. And if you don't feel good about it, you don't enjoy it, but you just got to be consistent for 4 weeks. You said you're like, I'll never bring it up again. Won't talk it now. Of course, he's lying. He was going to talk about it all the time. Of course. But I after coming back from Worlds, and I was like, cool. In 20, I've got to start. I've got to do some work. I've got to actually improve.
Yes.
And start lifting to complement the strength to help myself do the thing. And so then after doing that, I did like 4 weeks of consistent lifting. And nothing huge. We just started really low, really simple work. And what did we work? It was just the 5 basics pretty much. We went push,
a pull, a squat, a
hinge and a
carry.
And we went just keeping it really simple. Those were the 5. And we worked a routine based out of simplicity.
Yep.
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. I don't know, what I'm doing. So we stuck with that. And that immediately, like in that 4-week period, I immediately noticed a difference. Now, I immediately noticed a difference in how my back felt, how my legs felt, how my shoulders felt, my lower back in particular. I was always having problems with my lower back with like training and doing stuff and then being sore and then like, I can't move properly. It's feeling twingy and all those sort of things. And so after 4 weeks, I noticed a massive difference in just how those things were feeling. They weren't fixed, but I was like, I'm just not as sore. Like I'm sore from lifting. But then that we got into the protein powders and things to support the muscle growth and soreness and things. And then it became about the food, educating the food, which we've talked about on the food episode of the podcast, so you can go and listen to that one. But getting the food right, and then it's supporting the food that helps supporting the lifting, and then things started falling into place. And then from there, because I was consistent with eating, consistent with lifting, consistent with training, I lost like 12 kilos.
Yeah.
Over 3 months. No, it was less than that. Yeah. Sorry, it was. It was like 11 weeks. Yeah. I think in 11 weeks because we started lifting, and we had 11 weeks to get to comp weight because I was looking at going into the VIX, right? Competing at the VIX. Yeah, and I lost I ended up losing. That's right. In that 11-week period, I lost 9.5 kilos in 11 weeks, is what it ended up being. And then the overall loss, like then as I continued post that, we got up to I lost 11 kilos, and I've maintained that weight. And then if you look at the overall, where I was at my heaviest, I went down from 100 and I was like 104 kilos, down to 88 kilos. So
16. That's a lot.
Yeah, which is a
fucking
lot
of weight.
overall. And now same again. And then I've got goals to get further down and keep going. And then anyway. So for me, it was the noticeable difference between how I felt with the translation to rolling was the technical stuff that I liked doing, that I was already the technical way I roll and things I liked doing, all of a sudden just got easier. Yeah. All those technical things had it technically standing up, someone's on top of me, and it was hard to escape side control, and so my frames were better because the supporting muscles around the joints, when I'm framing correctly, all of a sudden I could frame for longer and stronger, and then that helped my technical ability to then get my hip out, and then if I could get my hip out, I could escape. So, and it wasn't because I was bench pressing them off me, it was because when I'm framing correctly and trying to get my knees in front of me or whatever it is, all of those supporting joints from the lifting were stronger.
Yeah.
Therefore, were able to do the movements longer, hold positions better, not get tired as the muscles weren't getting tired as quickly.
Well, I think that's one of the things from memory that you've spoken about previously is the ability to roll and stay technical for longer. Given that you've got a better overall strength base.
Yeah, correct. Because then I'm not working. My muscles aren't working as hard to get to positions. That doesn't mean I'm incredible. I've still got lots of work to do, but it was the baseline techniques that I was doing, and then in my rolls were just better because the body was working better, things were working more efficiently. Jiu-jitsu is about efficiency, really. That's for the most part. Jiu-jitsu is about being efficient with your movements and tiring your opponents out, and then capitalizing on the positions and capitalizing on maybe their mistakes.
Yes.
Right? Especially when you get to the trained versus untrained and all that sort of stuff. But which is so that for me the overall thing was that I can train jiu-jitsu for longer. I could be stronger in technical positions that helped my escapes, attacks, all those sort of things. And my body was recovering better because I was keeping myself at a level where the strength and the lifting and all that was supporting my rolling in jiu-jitsu. And so, same again, overtraining is a real thing. Understanding that,
So instead of thinking about it as overtraining, think about it as under recovering. Yeah, and that's what I think. Sure. Because you can train as much as you can recover from.
Yes.
And the more you train, you can keep adding. You might start out going, let's say you train jiu-jitsu 3 times a week, and you go, okay, so if I add 2 weight sessions, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Maybe you add 1 to begin with. Yeah,
start with 1, build a
Start with 1, and then over time you add a second, and then your body acclimatizes to that, and you're eating to support the training that you're doing. And
I think that's a really important thing to understand too. And please go back and listen to our food podcast when we talked a lot about the food. Yeah. Because if you have understanding that you have to eat correctly to support all of those things. Because if you lift and you want to get strong and you want to do those things for jiu-jitsu, for martial arts, for just general health, whatever it is you want to do, if you are going to lift and do stuff, you have to support it with food because your body is fuel. You need fuel to support those things, not just for energy, but the recovery. And one of the big one, and I said it in the food one, and I'll say it again, was understanding that what my protein, my protein goals and protein requirements. Yeah. As soon as I upped the protein and understood that, it changed how I felt. Yeah, it's a game changer. It was a game changer for how I felt for my recovery. Yep. Also, and how I felt about snacking and stuff.
And even food for fueling. So and one of the things I'm a long-term guilt, should be put in jail for this behavior. is
I've said it before. Cameron is just Homer less with maybe a little bit less beers. He just donuts and beer. Like he fucking smash it.
I did have
Smash it.
I did actually have a few beers last night. But
How
anyway,
many donuts did you have yesterday?
none. No donuts yesterday.
Wow, okay.
We did go no, not yesterday. The day, you know, shout out if you want to sponsor this podcast. I will eat there every day. Chonky Co in Mordialloc.
Chonky Co. Okay.
CHONKY CO with a dot. Loaded cookies, gelato,
Jesus.
loaded fucking. It's just amazing. But obviously, everything in moderation. We live a balanced lifestyle.
To be very clear, that's not what we mean by eating to supporting your lifting.
You know, why not both? Anyway, so eating to support your training is hugely important.
Yeah.
I traditionally have done a lot of intermittent fasting, and it's worked really well for me over the years as far as fitting in with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's again, food podcast is probably where all
Okay,
this
listen
goes.
to that one, yeah.
But just to underpin training and trying to get strong, or even just training on the mats, doing jiu-jitsu or any martial art or any activity, eating before that, your body goes, oh, I've actually got fuel to use. Because a lot of people, and I was one of them, would go, all right, which energy drink am I taking today? What pre-workout am I going to have before I train to get me up enough to sustain the training?
Yep.
And none of those will work as well as eating the proper food
Correct.
before you train, and your body actually has resources to draw from to support your training.
It's funny considering my friend group, Vishnu. Considering my friend group, and you, pre-workout's never been a thing I've ever touched, and I've only ever had it once with like Vish gave me a pre-workout thing to do something, and my friends thought I was on speed. Like, because they were like, I'm already like I
already
talk fast.
up
Like, I'm already up. I drink a lot of coffee.
Some people just don't need it.
Yeah, and I was just like, I remember doing it once and being like, and it was like, as if you've ever seen Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge. Remember the squirrel? The squirrel has the Red Bull. And the entire world slows down and is like he's walking slow motion. That was pretty much me on pre-workout. It was like, if you haven't seen that scene, I'll see if I can find it.
That's fantastic.
But that's a fantastic scene. But yeah, that was pretty much me on pre-workout.
And again, it's become pop culture. Have a white Monster before you go and train.
What are we talking about? Sorry, what? A white? Wait, what?
A Monster Ultra.
Oh, good.
Zero sugar.
White Monster's also another name that people use for fucking cocaine. So if you
okay.
stop,
No,
don't do that.
Don't do coke, kids.
Don't do coke. Don't do coke. Don't
Monster,
do drugs in general.
I think it's Monster Ultra is
a
the energy drink of choice for gym bros.
Right,
and
okay.
it's like again, it's become meme
Is that
culture.
Monster Energy as in the normal Monster Energy?
As in the normal Monster Energy drink, but it's white. It's a 500ml can.
Okay.
It's zero sugar, and I'm pretty sure it's got 200 milligrams of caffeine or 240 milligrams of caffeine.
Right. Okay.
But I would go to the gym, at 5:30, 6 a.m. and I'd have pre-workout or a coffee before I go, and there'd be guys doing their incline bench warm-up sets with a can of Monster next to them.
Yeah.
Do not recommend. Food's obviously a great choice, but again, it depends on what you tolerate.
It's funny. I don't really do energy drinks anymore. And that was like, I used to do tons of energy drinks when I was working in nightclubs and stuff because late nights.
Because
staying up and all that
yeah.
sort of stuff. And tons, but then I reckon if I had an energy drink now, I'd be up for days.
I don't drink. I don't use pre-workout anywhere near as much. I don't do energy drinks that much. Yeah. But I still like one every now and then.
Yeah, fair enough.
But also, again,
I just associate them with Jaeger. So it's just Red Bull, Jaeger, like Jaeger bombs. I associate just energy drinks with Jaeger bombs. I've done more Jaeger bombs in my lifetime than a person should, just because of working in the industry.
In the industry.
Hi Stan, let me know.
But also, coming back to strength training, eating to support this, like you can adding training to your whatever your current setup is not going to be detrimental.
But I'd also say that all of that just on I think it's just reinforcing what we're talking about. Consistency with these sorts of things is king, right?
Yeah.
Like consistency in anything, if you want to improve in something, whatever it is consistency is king. And that's the thing. You can't go, yeah, cool, I want to get strong. I want to get strong with whatever. Yeah, like I'm gonna have a strong tennis serve, like whatever you're doing, right? and you can't be like, yeah, I'm going to do the thing. I want to get strong and do the thing, and then do 2 sessions and not, and then be like, why am I not there? Like you have to make a plan, and you've got to give yourself time. Like it takes time to get to the place
100%.
where you are going to see results.
So just imagine for a second, because this is the fucked up thing about, again, so I'll just come back to social media and fitness influencers, is you do not get strong overnight.
No.
Impossible. Now you can...
In the same way that you don't get fat overnight. It takes time.
Yeah, and so you don't get strong overnight, you don't get fat overnight, you don't get lean overnight. You don't get to look like your favorite fitness goal influencer overnight.
Correct.
And it's like the same way that, and hacking strength is not a thing. There's no 12-week magic bullet. There's no 6-week.
He's right.
Look, there may be, there's shortcuts, but you don't, with every shortcut you take, you don't get the depth.
Yeah.
And that's the same way you wouldn't show up to any martial arts school and walk in and go, look, I've done 3 classes here, coach. I think it's time.
Give him a black belt.
Give him a black. Just why aren't I? And you might be able to hack a certain amount of progress in whatever your chosen endeavor is,
100%.
but you're never going to get the depth.
Yeah, correct.
And especially with something like strength, you can hack strength, but it comes at a cost.
Totally, yeah.
Because your body, you have to, and I would say you're far better off saying, I want to be strong for life.
Yeah, for longer, yeah.
And it doesn't really matter how long it takes you to get there.
And my why, like just to reiterate something, because I'm realizing, because I've said it takes time. I kind of contradicted what I said at the start about my journey with that I felt it in 4 weeks. Let me be really clear. I've been a physical person my entire life.
Yes.
So, like I said, I've sort of martial arts strong. And so I was kind of in this space where my body had been sort of primed to become stronger. I had just never pulled the trigger on the weights. So it's not because it wasn't 4 weeks and I was where I was there. I could feel the difference in 4 weeks of it was helping what I was doing. I just want to be really clear on that. It's still taken time, and because I ended up having to have surgery on my knee. I've lost all of that right now. Where I'm at right now, I've lost all of those extra gains, and I'm having to go right back. And because it's been 8 to 12 weeks of not doing stuff because of my leg, so I'm in mobility phases and stripping right back to the foundation building blocks. And I'm having to start again because I wasn't able to be, because that's just what happened. And that's okay. I'm still strong with certain things, and I'm still better off than I was like a year ago. But I'm like, it's gonna take time. And my why for doing the strength stuff, the competition things was all a means to an end, and just a way to give myself timed, measurable targets.
Yes.
My why is longevity. Like my personal why for the strength and training and all that is longevity in this space that I love, and that I have made my profession now, and that I want to be on the mats to the long, like in an ideal world, I teach a class, I go home, I die at the end of my life.
Yeah.
Like that would be like
perfect.
Fucking perfect tick.
Yeah,
like
tick.
Did it all well, did the things, till I'm 100 or whatever.
And we say, we hope that's in
we hope that's in 7 years
and not
tomorrow. But but do you know what I mean? Like that's what I mean is like, that's my why. Is that all of this it's not about, I like personally don't care about the number on the weights. Like I don't care if I'm squatting 200 and all those things. Like, and the reality is for my knees, that's probably never ever going to happen.
Give it a couple of years.
But my point is I don't care. Like it's not just not on the target goals for me. Is they're not the thing. I would rather be deadlifting 50 kilos really consistently, and squatting 60 kilos really happily, and doing pistol squats for mobility. Like for me, it's about how my body feels to support the lifestyle and the longevity of being able to coach and continually teach and keep up with the 20-year-olds that are being coach, how do I do this move? And I want to be able to keep teaching those moves for the rest of my life. And that's for 100%. Me my why. And so I think you've got to understand what your why is. If you want to be a bodybuilder and you're trying to get to what are the comps? The
Olympia?
Yeah, like Mr. Olympia or something. Man, send it. Like, go for it. But then, if that's your why, then you have to train accordingly.
No, you're
do you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, that's all I'm saying.
And that's where I think there's you have to. We've spoken about this before, and this is one of my a big belief of mine is you have to be your own mad scientist.
Yeah, totally.
And you have to experiment and find out what works for you. Don't experiment too much.
Keep the goal the goal.
But there is also, I would suggest that, and because there's so many ways of getting strong.
Yeah, totally.
And for you, over your years of doing martial arts, and even before that, playing soccer.
Oh yeah,
like leg strength and core strength
yeah.
and hips and whatever else.
I rode bike. I did like rollerblading and push bike riding like every day as a kid for years, and I mean every day. I would skate or ride a bike to school.
Yep.
And then play soccer with like so like I've got big quads and big legs from years of just running and pushing and doing those kinds of things without realizing that's what I was doing.
So you've got this strength, base level strength that's built up over a really long period of time.
Yeah.
But whichever way you want to get strong that ties into your why of I want to be strong for a really long time, or I want to be a bodybuilder and compete in bodybuilding competitions. That's going to require a different level of dedication.
Yeah,
if it's getting strong for jiu-jitsu, that's different again. But I would just suggest that whatever you do, spend 6 or 12 months getting your overall body strong, doing basic strength shit.
Yeah.
Like we said before, a push, a pull, a squat, a hinge, and a carry. Examples of that are push could be push-ups or it could be bench press. It could be dips. It could be overhead press. A pull, pull-ups.
Yeah.
Rows, like even body weight rows hanging from a bar. A squat, self-evident. Body weight squat, pistol squat, barbell squat, front squat. Even your abilities aside, leg press. If you're not able to do a back squat, leg press or a belt squat or a Bulgarian split squat. A hinge is a deadlift variation, some form of Romanian deadlift from the floor, trap bar deadlift, which is a little less hingy, more squatty. But something, again, working your posterior chain, and then a carry is carrying shit. And any of those, they're going to build up the right areas of your body that you need. And then you can go, you do that for 6 or 12 months, and you go and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. You can do calisthenics, you can fucking do Zumba if you want. Yeah. You can, but you something to build up to a base layer of strength, and then you kind of get the freedom to experiment however you want to do it. Yeah. And you can do whatever you want to do. And there's 1,000,001 programs out there. And I would say, because people often get FOMO of, do I do this one, or this one? When you're first starting out, you can do almost anything and it will work.
Yeah, totally.
Like
as long as you're consistent.
You can do the bro split, training one body part per day. You do chest. Chest is Monday is International Chest Day. Then you do back, and then you do bicep or whatever your order is, whatever it is. Yeah. Back and biceps this day, and chest and triceps that day. And if you put in the effort and do it consistently over a long period of time, you're going to get really fucking good results. There's no perfect program.
Have I ever talked to you about the Dimitri Kondos tricep protocol?
No.
I'll hate him. I'll message. I'll get him to send me the Dimitri Kondos tricep protocol. He had this like crazy supersetted tricep workout that we did this time. I couldn't move my arms for like 10 days. Anyway, yeah.
But there's stuff like there's German volume training, which is 10. I think a lot of it is 10 by 10, and it's insane. Yeah. But it gets you really good results. But again, there's trade-offs. There's how are you going to balance that? Because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably interested in martial arts.
Maybe, yeah.
You have to then take into account whatever I'm doing. Do I want to become a bodybuilder? Do I want to just be fitter to participate in my chosen activity on the mats? Yeah. Do I want to dominate everybody and just be an absolute beast human? Yeah. They're all going to require different levels of dedication and lifting. For me, I'm similar to you. I just want to be as strong as possible for as long as possible in my life.
Abs don't hurt.
Having abs definitely does not hurt. But also, abs are a factor of your diet. So abs, we all have abs. They're there. You've got abs. They may just not be evident due to the donuts and the beer. So it depends on how much.
Yeah.
You know, again, what do you want out of it?
Yeah, we want it.
But I this is a really hard one because I'm trying to. I love the fitness industry, but I hate what it's become because there's so much shit out there. There's so much fear mongering. There's so much buy my program. Shortcut. There's no shortcuts to anything.
That being said, buy our... No, we don't have. I'm kidding.
we will have one. No, we don't. Like, it's just, it's like, and again, like you did, a lot of your early training from memory was doing barbell complexes, which is like you have a barbell with weight on it if you can, and then you do 5 or 8 or 10 reps.
6 to 8 repetitions of each one.
And then you do, so you might do like a Romanian deadlift.
Yep.
And then you go from that into a barbell row without putting the barbell down. Yep. And then you do a barbell row, and then you might do a clean, barbell clean. And then you do an overhead press. And then maybe you do a back squat. Yep. And so you do, 5 times 8? 40 reps without putting the barbell down. And then at the end of the 40 reps, you go, all right, rack the barbell, you rest for 1, 2, 3 minutes, and you go again. And you will be amazed at how quickly your heart rate goes through the roof. But again, you're kind of working all of the patterns. Yep. You're doing a push, you're doing a pull, you're doing a hinge, you're doing a squat, and the carry is you're holding the barbell for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And they're great for just burning fat. And there's a great Olympic lifting coach called Dan John. He's the one where I get keep the goal from.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
He's like one of the OG proponents of that.
So clearly you don't listen to him anymore.
I've got ADHD. The goal is whatever I want it to be on that given day.
And that every 30 seconds.
My goal changes after every coffee.
Oh, look at the birdie.
Oh, look at it. But he would use that a lot for Olympic weightlifting and wrestlers, and especially for wrestlers. He called it building armor. Yeah, right. Like, because you're building the muscles that kind of take the impact when you're doing combat sports, which is what we need to do. Totally. And one of the things that will never hurt you is having more muscle. Like, this is, we spoke of this, we touched on this before. You will never, I'm speaking of 99.99% of the population, will never get too big. You'll never wake up one day and look in the mirror and go, do you know what? Yeah. I really wish I was thinner. I really wish I was skinnier. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's all, but same again. This all comes down to your the context of why. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I've always preferred my taste in women have always been on the thicker side. I want someone. If you're like tiny little stick thing, it's just not the kind of person I'm attracted to. Now that's all relative, right? Some people want, and some people in general want to feel like they are skinny in a certain context of stuff. But I was like, I think athletic and strong I just want to feel
is way
tiny
more.
in your arms, Alex.
I could cradle you now. But you know what I mean? Like, that's, you're right. I think it depends
on what you want. And I think there's a really, actually, as probably the one positive movement that's going around at the moment is just in general being strong. And gone are the days of wanting to be stick thin. And I'd say, just to modify my favorite Kate Moss quote, which hers was,
skinny,
nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. It should be, nothing tastes as good as strong feels. Like, feeling strong is an amazing thing. Like, I don't think there's any substitute for feeling strong.
Same again. I think this. I agree with you because we line up in our thoughts of things, but I just think that it's such a relative term to what your goal.
But that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. Like, whatever. And I'm not saying. And again, this is just putting. I'm assuming you're doing whatever you like. If you're training jiu-jitsu or hapkido or karate or fucking whatever, you're doing all of that. So we're not saying this is at the expense of that. No, not at all. But to complement. But feeling strong and feeling capable might be the better word. Yeah. Is an amazing feeling. But also, I would say that
you feel invincible when everything's going good. If you put the work in and you can get to that spot where you can start to feel. I guess it's one of the things too. Like one of the reasons weights are and people's weights go up, right? And they're like, oh man, I'm benching and 100 kilos and doing this, is because it's measurable. Like it's a measurable target that you can go, oh, I am physically stronger because I started at bench pressing 40 kilos and now I'm at 100.
Yep.
Like, and so it's a measurable thing.
And you can also,
right?
you can gamify it a lot where
Yeah,
you go,
totally, yeah.
it's real, it's good to, look, it's good to chase numbers, but like we said, you got to be patient over and know that it's going to happen over a long period of time.
Yeah, I had, and you, like, I know for me in particular, and this was one of those things, is every time when I started lifting with you, the increase of weight and what seemed like the increase of strength was such an incredible bell curve of like, it went up really fast because I was in a place of like being,
so it's newbie gains.
Newbie gains. Like, because you start out, like, I'm like, cool, I've got to learn how to deadlift properly. And so I'm starting out with the bar. And then it's like, cool, we'll just chuck 10 kilos on each side. And then it's like, oh, yeah, like quite literally in that same session, like, you do that, yeah, that's fine, chuck more weight on, cool. And as you build,
you got to a point where we were doing Zercher squats at one point. And you're like, oh, and I squat a lot. And I love, squatting it's great, a great movement pattern. And I get strong relatively quickly in those patterns. And I was doing sets at 100 kilos, and then within a very short period of time,
we're doing 2 weeks
sets at 100 kilos, which just goes to show that you had a lot of strength, but also those you start lifting, and you're going to get a really sharp increase in your strength early on, and then you've just got to maintain the rage because obviously
maintain the rage.
The curve flattens a little bit, and then it just takes you.
And that can actually be something if you're new to it, and like you haven't got the right people around you giving you the right sort of encouragement and advice and things. Is like if you're doing it by yourself, you can feel like you're failing.
Oh yeah.
It's like, because I know in particular, so where I'm sort of the weakest, like my legs are strong and my back's pretty strong. Like my back is kind of, I don't think I've actually hit the limits of doing back stuff. Because I'm in the sense that like I've got way more, I'm quite strong in that space. But where I'm weak is pressing, like overhead pressing, right? And so like when I'm doing those complexes, I was stuck because of the complexes, you're not putting the weight down. So I can row really, really high level of like heavy weight, but I can't press it. So I was limited to the weight I could do by what I could press. So when I was doing so those things were like, I got up to that like 60 kilos was the best I got in my like 60 kilos of complex, right? Because I just couldn't, by the time I get to 3 here, I was done. I was like, well, I can't do the rest of the complex if I can't get past the thing. So I had to sit on the weights where I was, where I'm like at. And so anyway, but so it's one of those things. If you get there, it's the same with my bench press. My bench press was not great. And I was like, I had these really great gains and then I plateaued hard because I was like, cool, I'm stuck there for a bit and that's okay. But I was still getting stronger by pressing the weight. And I was like, it went from adding 10 kilos a week and all of a sudden I'm adding 1 kilo because I went to 500 grams. I was like, okay, let's add 500 grams, find the weights.
And you have to at some point come to peace with the fact that you will make very slow it takes initially time. If you've never strength trained before, you will get relatively strong really quick
fast,
and then you've got to make peace with the fact that everything is going to take a lot longer. But that's when you go, okay, let's say take bench press as an example. I can bench press my body weight and that's going really well, but then I can't really add much more weight. And you go, okay, so maybe I go from doing a bench press to doing dumbbells, or I start doing dips because that's a similar pattern, but it's a different movement and it's working different muscles, and then you get gains on that, and then you cycle back around to doing something else. But you're right, it is about having people around you who are giving you the right advice and educating you. But just to come back to kind of the why on lifting, I think it is also incumbent upon everyone, and I think when you flagged it, being capable is the right terminology. Forget about jiu-jitsu, forget about martial arts, just being capable of doing basic shit in your life. Like if you swim, can you get yourself out of the side of the pool?
Well, a huge one for me, just in that same space of being capable, like shout out to my mother, hi Christine. This is a good example. So my mum's gone through some she had full knee reconstruction, so brand new knees, right? Congratulations, let's keep them good. But leading up to that, she was over and we were talking. I was watching her get out of a chair, and she was throwing her weight forward and not using the right muscles to be capable. So we got her in touch with like exercise physiologists and like, let's get these things together and start getting on top of building the muscles to support the longevity of walking around and doing stuff. My mom's 70 and she's doing really well, but she's not going anywhere anytime soon. But it was one of those things. It's like, for the longevity, like looking at the longevity of your health as a human, if you want to be able to just be like, I think, what was it? Is it? We might have to fact check me on this one, but I'm hoping this is not a Facebook fact that I heard. But it was, so we'll fact check this one. But it was the body that you build, like in your 20s, right? In your 20s, you can kind of fuck around and find out. You can do a whole bunch of stuff, not lift right, do stuff, injure yourself, whatever. Your body will recover, you will repair, it'll be okay. Once you hit your 30s, it's still there. You can do stuff, but the body that you build through your, like the muscles and the things that you build through your 40s, when you're like late 30s and in your 40s, is going to determine how the rest of your life looks. Because at a certain point, it stops repairing itself, and you're left with what you're left with. And so, in your the body that you've built by the time you hit your like late 30s and 40s is going to determine how your 60s, 70s, and 80s look. Yeah. How you walk, how you run, how mobile you are.
Yeah, what you're capable
of doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. One of those big realizations of like watching my mum struggle with her knees, and come through and learn a little bit later on, like, cool, we've got to get these things stronger and do stuff to help her live out the rest of her days, right? Has been a big eye opener to see, right, mum's really struggling with those things, and I want to try and learn from those lessons. And like, I've already got knee problems.
Yep.
So I've got to make sure that I'm supporting all these things and all the strength I can have to be as able-bodied as possible for as long as humanly possible, so I can be capable. And so like that's the thing. If you're,
I think it's that saying, best time to start was 40 years ago. The next best time to start is
right
today.
now. Yeah.
And there's no, like, as much as
it's never too late.
I think you're right. Your living history will determine how well you function for the rest of your life. Yeah. But there's never such thing as being too late.
No, yeah,
like,
totally right.
There's always things you can do.
Build off your, like, if you've never lifted before and you're freaking 50 now, right? And you're listening to this, hi, by the way, keep going, let's go.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
But the point is if you start lifting now, it's only going to make you better. Now, are you ever going to be if you'd started lifting when you were 30, you'd be way better. But it is what it is. Like, if you start doing stuff now, it's going to make you better.
I will link, and I'm pretty sure there's Pavel Satsulin is I probably fucked up his surname there, but let's just call him Pavel. He's a Russian strength coach, amazing wealth of knowledge, and he has multiple stories of people who started strength training in their 60s.
Yeah, amazing.
And they're deadlifting 250 kilos. Yeah. Like, it's insane. The body's extremely capable. But I like your point, and as much as there's quite a few kind of authorities in the longevity space, and it's almost like, you're familiar with the Rat Pack? Like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr.,
100%.
Whoever the fourth one was, it escapes me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But there's these Rat Packs exist throughout history as far as people who are... You're
I have to. It's going to break my brain. Keep going, yeah.
Hang on. Yeah. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin.
Peter Lawford. Yeah. Peter Lawford, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra.
Don't know who Peter Lawford is. Sorry, Peter.
Joey Bishop, Sammy Davis, Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, Humphrey Bogart.
And apparently Angie Dickinson. I have no idea who she is.
Look, my point was that we go through these periods where these people have incredible sway over pop culture.
Correct.
And at the moment, you have Dr. Peter Attia, Andrew Huberman, and a few... It's like there's these people who they will pop up in your feed.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, he's been on the health and fitness. He's a strong motherfucker. He's been on the health and fitness bandwagon for his entire life. But these people pop up and they will influence the direction of how you train. And you look at these, and there was a round table with Peter Attia, Dr. Mike Boyle, very well credentialed. But they start going, oh, well, over a certain age, you shouldn't deadlift because it's puts too much loading on your spine and it's bad for your back. And you will, it's not if, it's when you will have an injury and you'll destroy your back and you'll never be able to walk again. And you need to be really careful of, like, do your own research, be your own experiment, but also take everything that you read ever with a grain of salt. From us, from Huberman, because Huberman is sponsored by AG1, which sponsors every podcast, and he's also doing a collaboration with Gwyneth Paltrow. I love you, Andrew Huberman, but I mean, come on.
I got nothing.
No, so my whole point is take.
Why do you hate Gwyneth Paltrow? I don't know what's happening.
I don't hate Gwyneth Paltrow, but I don't necessarily associate Gwyneth Paltrow with a beacon of health and fitness and scientific research.
Okay.
If you want to steam your vajayjay, that's up to you. But
that's a thing.
Did we not know that that's a thing?
I didn't know that was a thing.
We're not going to link it because we're we're not PG, but
no, we're not. But okay, we can
anyway,
get into that.
We're getting sidetracked. That was a really long way of me coming around to saying Peter Attia has a great theory on look at your last decade. What do you want your last decade of your life to look like?
Sure.
And then work backwards.
Sure.
So I want to be, you want to be capable of moving around, traveling, going and doing all the shit that you want to do when you're perceivably retired and kind of living out your life.
Yeah.
Work backwards and what do you need to do now
to make sure you're there?
To make sure you're there.
Correct.
And I would suggest that getting strong is an underpinning foundation of the entire thing. Because if you're not strong,
you can't be capable.
You can't be capable of doing a whole lot.
Yep.
And to quote the famous powerlifter Mark Bell, strength is never a weakness and weakness is never a strength. And I think that's just a great foundation of what you should think about when, especially like your why. What is your why? Yeah. What do you want to be capable of over the long term?
Correct.
And what do you have to do now to start to work towards it?
100%. I think that's really the thing is like make a plan and like if you can understand your why and your, I want to say what your motivations are, but I don't mean what I mean by that is that I connect that to your why. Like your motivation for doing the why. Like what is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the reality is this is like if all of these things and that like being consistent in the lifting, being consistent in your diet, being consistent in your training, whatever you're training for, will help you towards all of those things. It's really easy to do at the start because you are motivated, right? Yeah. I want to do the thing. Discipline.
Yep.
Beats motivation every day of the week.
Yeah. Oh, and we talk about the identity.
Yeah.
Like
I am someone that goes.
I'm the
to
kind
the
of
gym.
I'm the kind of person that goes to the gym.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way to you because motivation is fleeting.
It goes up and down. Yeah. If you're waiting for motivation, you'll be waiting forever.
And momentum is great. Momentum's a great thing. Like once you get that ball rolling, but it just become. I'm not the kind of person who sits around on the couch and does nothing. Yep. Except when I'm recording a podcast.
But that's exactly right. But that's one of those things is like understanding those things too will help you hit your goals because it's like even if, for example, like there's so many days where I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. Fuck your feelings. Go and do the thing. Now, sometimes you get there. We've had this conversation. Sometimes you'll get there. You'll get up off the couch. You'll go there. You'll go to start doing your sets, and you're like, this feels horrible.
Yep.
I don't feel good about the thing. But you're like, you know what? At least you went. Now, cool. Okay. Maybe it's not the weight you wanted to do. Maybe it's not the things that are there. But you know what? I'm still going to bang out. I'm going to do something. Yeah, do something. All right. You know what? That didn't work. I'm going to go sit on the bike for freaking 30 minutes and just cycle, or just treadmill and walk it. Yep. And chuck a podcast in and just go right. At least you did something instead of nothing.
Oh yeah, the amount of time, and this is again, we talk about training and going and doing the thing. The amount of times I've gotten to the gym, and this happened just recently where I was warming up for squats and I'm like, feels heavier than normal, and like proper. Yeah. Because sometimes after a while you get used to it and you go,
you know how it feels. Yeah.
This feels normal, and it might feel heavy, but it still feels normal. And I was there, I'm like, this feels just really heavy, and so I kind of did a lower weight. And then I moved on to a different exercise. I'm like, this feels horrible. Yeah. And it was just in a point I go, sleep hadn't been great. Yeah. You know.
All the things. And so I just went and did some stretching. Yeah. But I was there. Yeah. And
It's just another
Did
brick
you
in.
go? Yeah, you went. Was it great? No, you still went though.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just, and you kind of think about it like building a really fucking big wall.
Yeah.
Like you just need to put lots of bricks.
Mexico's going to pay for it.
They fucking should. They got all that drug cartel money. But you need to just put, and some days that you're going to put a really big fucking brick in that wall and go, this was amazing and everything worked out well. Yeah. And
Foundational bricks.
Other days it's one of those, one of those ones where you're going to fit it in and it's like a little gap and you find like a chipped off piece that fits because whatever you were doing you're just ticking the box.
Exactly right. That's what I mean. Like it's, make those choices.
Make those choices. Go out and go to the gym right now.
Yeah, we're going to. I already did a session today, but I'm going to do another session after this.
I am training this evening, so
let's do it. I think that's probably a good spot.
I think it is a good spot.
No, that's it. I don't think anything else. I was trying to think of anything else.
Can I say? I just want to summarize. Any strength training is better than no strength training.
Yep.
Get advice from someone.
Yeah.
Whether that's going like even
so much
most gyms go, hey, I want to.
Except CrossFitters, don't speak to them. I'm kidding.
No, CrossFit's fine.
Yeah, it is.
High Rocks.
What is it? If you're going to do it, you've got to call it by its whole name.
You have to refer to yourself as a hybrid rock star every time you mention High Rocks.
Every time you bring it up.
But also,
no, you're right. There's so much out there. Make sure, get advice. Go get help.
Get advice. Yeah. And especially if you're new to lifting, because you'll find
it's hard. It's a hard starting. There's so much out there and what to know. And just focus on the basics.
And lifting weights is a skill as well as a strength endeavor. So the correct technique will make everything
all the difference.
Infinitely easier.
Correct.
You'll be working the right muscles. You'll feel good about it.
And you won't hurt yourself.
Go and get advice. But also. Use your noggin, fact check, think about what you're doing. If it feels wrong or doesn't feel great in your body, listen to yourself. It's probably not. But also, don't be a pussy because lifting is not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not meant to be easy. No. It's going to be hard.
Doing hard things.
And also the first 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to fucking feel it. You squat or deadlift, good luck getting off the toilet the next day. That's like you need your rails to just to push. It
will get better. You've just got to be consistent.
You've got it like that. That's an initial kind of hurdle. Get over that.
Yeah.
But so just go. Start slow. Expect it to take a long time.
Yep.
As everything worth having takes time. It's not easy.
As a beginner, I'm still a beginner lifter. I'm not an expert. Cameron's been lifting a lot longer than me. But one of the things that he was saying, and one of the things that definitely I think helped me with understanding what to do, because that's the other part for me. Was decision fatigue was real.
Yeah.
And there are so many lifts. There's so many machines at the gym. So understanding just for me having those 5 basics, that we've talked about. Was a really baseline way to go, right.
Yep.
This is where I'm starting, so I can learn some basic lifts, understand what that means, how my body feels, how it recovers. Then you can get, once those feel good and you're there, then getting into more specifics of inclines and declines. There is just so much that's there. And for me, I know as someone that was easily distracted and gets bored easily, trying to remove the decision fatigue made a massive difference to going. Because often you sit in there going, what am I going to do today? And in the early days, that was a massive issue for me, was getting there and spending 20, 30, 40 minutes sometimes fluffing around, half doing stuff before I actually committed to what I was doing. So have a plan, build a plan, understand what it is. If you don't understand what it is, research, YouTube, find out what it is.
On that point, so we'll finish. We've been finishing for the past 15 minutes, but we'll finish on this one because what are some of your favorite people to get information from? And I'll give you my top 5. But do you have?
My problem is that because I watch these things, I have a couple of channels that I really like, mainly for food. stuff which were super educational. But lifting wise, because I don't know enough, I'm usually talking to you. I'm talking to my exercise physiologist. I will see lifts on things that I understand now, and I watch, but I don't actually follow anyone as far as
one that you've sent me a few clips of, and that I'm a big fan of is Australian guy Eugene Teo.
Oh, Eugene Teo, yeah, recently, sorry, yes, Eugene Teo, yeah,
he's
phenomenal.
Amazing. He's got some really good information, and he breaks it down.
Yeah, I think that as a beginner, the clips he puts out are. They're a little bit longer, so you're not gonna get the information in 30 seconds.
Yep.
But it's super informative. It seems very safe. He's focused a lot on the safety around like how to make it better and safe and easy. Yeah, and it's simple.
And he's also, and if you look at him now, you may not realize you look back, bodybuilder, strong as fuck, trained with John Meadows, RIP, who was an amazing bodybuilding coach. But Eugene Teo, we'll link him in.
Yeah, definitely.
Sebastian Oreb, who's Australian strength coach, trained Hafthor Bjornsson for his world record deadlift, has trained a ton of people. I'm not sure if it's his wife or his sister. There's two women in his life. One's his wife, one's his sister or the sister of the wife. Anyone he trains, his daughter, who's 15 or 14, squats double her body weight and deadlifts up. Like, at getting strong, he's kind of unparalleled, and he's got great technical information.
Oh, who's the kettlebell? Is that Pavel
Satsulin?
Yeah.
I'll link to him again. Yeah.
So he was the kettlebell guy that
He's a kettlebell. He's like Strong First is his brand. I think it is. Again, amazing information. If you love.
Oh, sorry. Also, definitely shout out to JT Thompson from Bulletproof of BJJ.
Yeah, we'll link JT. He's a fucking beast.
He's an absolute savage, and he's got an app, like he's got a strength app and all that, like Bulletproof of BJJ.
Yep,
is a program I've used. We've had him here. We've had him host seminars here, and if you are especially in that like jiu-jitsu space, that's one that I look to for a lot of stuff is JT. I watch a lot of his things, but also their app and all that sort of stuff that they have has been incredibly helpful with planning routines, learning basics.
Sometimes you just go, hey, you pay for it, use an app, and you just walk in and you literally plug and play. Yeah, you watch. They've got videos on there.
Instructionals on how
to do it. Okay, I've got to do 5 sets of this or 3 sets of this. You put your weight in and you move on to the next.
So for someone like me, like a beginner, like the Bulletproof is definitely up there for me as far as super helpful, super helpful for like specific goals, especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu. But they've got in theirs like, you want to get big, do this stuff. You want to do rehab, you got this stuff. If you look at mobility, do this stuff. Like it's really, there's a lot of stuff in it.
The other one that I'll end on for me is, and I mention his name almost every episode, is Roman Jiu-Jitsu, who's strong as fuck. He makes fun of the fitness industry because that's what you should do as an influencer. But posts training routines, lifting routines, food on his channel, and it's all, you can pay for his training, but he has a whole lot of information. Like most of these guys, there's a ton of information for free, and you can literally take, hey, this is what I do every week. These are the lifts, these are the sets, the reps, etc. Plug and play. Or if you want to just make it simple, you can go on like Bulletproof and pay for a program.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Get out there.
Go and fucking train. Every week.
Thank you. It's funny.